So this video is going to be about online gang stalking, Child Protective Services, Georgia State Senator Nancey Shaefer's murder, and I had someone, want to come on and write a book this long on one of my videos about how I was lying, how I was human trafficked from my mother by the government in 1994 because my mother grew weed and she had her tits out in her backyard. She was an advocate for natural freedom of growing weed, which I don't recommend anybody smoke the weed. It's very stupid. It fucks up your lungs. And then for freeing the nipples. And she was a huge advocate for free the nipples. And she offended a lot of people. Even though now that we have the internet, we can see that there's countries all over the world where nudists, matter of fact, in France, there are, I think it was like 20 million nudists, something like that. Religion has made people hate their own bodies and other people's bodies, and they've made the naked body so taboo that everybody is so lustful. Anyway, so my mother was a promoter of natural medicine, but that couldn't be profited on back in 94 through taxation. So I was human trafficked from my mother. She was put in a cage for freeing the nipples and for being free to grow a plant. I was sent to a home where I was mentally and physically abused. I ran away. I was beat, raped, and drugged on 20 plus different pharmaceutical drugs in the state-ran institutions, private and state, funded by tax dollars. Nancey Shaefer, the Georgia State Senator, was murdered for exposing that Child Protective Services is cash for kids. They make money on human trafficking adults for non-aggressive laws, which this has been known of. People used to go to jail for a plant. There's no hiding the past. And so what did they do with those kids? Well, that's obvious that if they were putting people in prison for a non-violent crime when there was no victim, that's human trafficking. And that's what Nancey Shaefer was talking about. And they popped her. And yeah, they killed her for it because the government is the largest child trafficking ring. That's what she said. And they didn't like that. So I had to make this video since I have gang stalkers on here, because I am a targeted individual, because I talk about the shit that happened to me in the institutions that have fucked me up my entire life. It's not one day that I don't think about how messed up my childhood was. And it plays a big part in why I've been homeless for so many years. So, yeah. It should be no surprise. We've seen how they treat the Hispanic kids. They lock them in cages. They separate families. Do you think they wouldn't do that to their own citizens? Of course they did. That's why they killed Nancey Shaefer, for exposing it. They had been doing this to their own citizens. So everyone's so surprised about ICE and the human trafficking of ICE kids. Yeah. And why do you think all the porn is my stepsister? Because all these kids go into foster care and they're making porn about fucking their stepsister or their stepbrother with the gay porn, whatever type of fucking porn there is. Yeah. Because that's what it is. It's legalized child trafficking. And that is all over the internet for Nancey Shaefer, the Georgia State Senator's speech. And motherfuckers want to come on my fucking page, write a book this long, call me a liar, and watch every fucking video I post. Like, do you have a fucking life? You've human trafficked so many kids. No, you're not gonna intimidate me to shut up. Because I'm still suffering to this day as a 30-year-old man because my mother died at age 40 when I was 15, when I was being institutionalized because I had ran away from the foster home. And women deserve equal rights. I'm not going to stop talking about the fact that she wanted to free the nipples and that she was locked up for marijuana. Which, again, I do not promote any fucking drug. I took 120 milligrams of caffeine today, and I called that poison, because it is.